Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. I think this is day 13 or 14 of my Create a Fleet Character Challenge experiment, whatever you want to call it. If you want to check out what these are all about, please feel free to check out the earlier episodes. There should be a playlist listed below. These were filmed back on August 6th. I've made them so that I have something while I'm on vacation that comes out each day because I like to put an episode out, if possible, each day at 11 a.m. Jumping in right away, if you watched the last episode, I'm in the middle of the Great Wildlands in an exploration ship. The next 2 days is totally focused on trying to make as much ISK as possible so that I can outfit my fleet character whenever he's ready to roll. We're going to go ahead and hit claim on this. It is currently Foundation Day 1C124, but this will air probably 20 days after that is done. Yeah, we've got 2 days, and then day 15, I'm going to try to pick up all this loot that I've been able to find, and then fly back to Dodixie and hopefully make it there, sell some stuff, and buy up whatever holes I can, and we'll move on from there. So, don't have any idea what's going to happen today. The last 2 days, I was able to make it out to the Great Wildlands, and I'm using the last 4 days of this series to just try to make some ISK. There we go. So we're always just going to double check and see where I'm at with everything. Let's go ahead and minimize that. I should be. I'm in E. Long story short, today I'm in EO2. That is right here. What I am going to try to do is circle down, over, and around and come right back up. And then once I get that, circle right back out. Now today it all depends on how many sites are available and how empty the area is. It is a weekend. It is a Saturday night right now for me. So let's see what's going on. I have no idea what day of the week this is going to air. So I did drop off all the loot that I've gotten so far while I've been out here. Let's just make sure I've got my probes. Don't really need any of that there. Good. So I've been able to get 44 million ISK so far in junk. My destination right now is F8K. Let's take a look at the map again and see if I've got that right. Yeah, F8K. Reason why I want to fly through here is the last time I was here, last couple months, I lived out here for a little while. It was kind of neat. Very different area from most other areas in space. But there was a player-controlled station here and here that was a free port that you could dock up on. So I just want to fly through and see if that's still available, and maybe see if there's anything else in the area. Normally this is pretty empty. This is where a lot of alliances, from what I understand, and corporations go to start up on nullsec life without having to rent from anybody. But it's got its little quirks. So first I'm going to do is check the in-game map and see if I've got any ships in space on my way there. So got none here in the last 30, none here, and none here. So let's see what we can do. Drinking my trusty coffee. Now, any system that has somebody else in it, I'm not taking any chances. I am going to try to just warp on through. I'm not going to waste any time. But I do need to make sure there are no interdiction probes here, since there is somebody else in system. Let's go ahead and reload our core scanning probes. There are no actual cosmic signatures in the system anyway, so good. Now let's check our D-scan. D-scan is good. We got no interdiction spheres or any type of interdiction ships that are here. So we're just going to get on out of here and hope, hopefully we won't have any problems on the other side of this gate. I keep saying we. Maybe it's me and RF Alpha. RF Alpha, it stands for, I'm sorry, AF Alpha. What the frick is the name of my character? AF Prime. I was thinking of something earlier today and I've got it on the brain. AF Prime, Alpha Fleet Prime. And that's what he is. He's an alpha character. He's a fleet character. And he's the first character that I've made like this. Okay, so nobody in system. No cosmic signatures. Let's keep on moving. I am just going to roll. The ship I am in is very cheap. If I die, it will send me straight back to Jedha. So unless I see something that is glaringly bad. Now what I am doing is doing some save spots along the way. These are not the best save spots. It's better to bounce yourself off a planet and then set a save spot that way. But this is just quick and easy because I want to get through these systems. Because my main focus is to scan down sites and make as much ISK as possible on large boxes and travel. Okay, so we got a guy in system here. Don't know where he's at. So what we do want to do is actually bounce off a planet. Probably, if you've been watching my series, you probably heard me talk about this a million times, but if this is the first time you're here, then what I like to do is just set up some save spots as I go along, so that even if I die along this route, maybe I've done something positive. Now, second thing being, I have now warped to a planet. I'm going to warp outside of this CRX planet at 100, hoping that there are no... Let's see if there's any... There, okay. What I'm doing now is I'm warping to this gate to see if there were any spheres, because there is somebody in system. I wonder if I'm giving up anything here. Okay, we got one cosmic signature, but again, there's somebody in system. I'm not going to mess around with it. I will warp back to a planet and then warp back to this gate. Now, one thing that can happen at times is if there is somebody in system. Now, this guy could just be docked up at a player-owned station or be cloaked up, doing exactly what I'm doing, just in a exploration ship. But I'm not seeing him here. Or he could be just a lone scout for somebody on the opposite side of this gate, where he's letting them know that I am on my way toward him. Oh, wow. I love how you can fly right through things, but if I were to try to turn around and warp back to that gate, I wouldn't be able to get through it. I guess that goes against, what is it, Star Wars Episode 8, where they hit the warp drive and the ship blows right through the main ship of the bad guys. I don't know. I really like Star Wars. I really, really do, but I'm not a fanatic on it. It's one of those where I'll watch it in the theater the first time, and then anytime it's on TV or some other time, or if somebody's watching, I will sit down and watch it. But honestly, it's not something that I go and search out. Whereas other science fiction, like The Expanse or some of Star Trek, I will track down. Not a huge... There's certain Star Trek that I really, really liked. So, again, nobody in system. Let's see if there's anyone. There are no celestial boxes. So we're just going to warp straight through. As I'm warping here, so we're going to be warping into F8K. We're going from CRXA to F8K. This was the first spot that used to have a, this was a long while ago, 4 or 5 months ago, had a Freeport station there. And we're going to see if it's still there, because that could be useful to anybody who wants to move out here. This is nowhere near as populated as the other NPC null areas. Wow, that makes me feel a little bit sad. So I'm in F8K now. Let's see if there's any Celestials in this one. No. So the station must have been blown up. So, or taken down, either one. So what do I want to do now? I need to set direction. And we're going to go to NTAC 6 through AB. So now from this screen you can actually warp to each one of these. If I've got AB here anywhere, AB, I can actually jump to the Stargate from there. I think I remember I checked, there were no cosmic signatures here. This does make me really sad. There used to be a station here. A station here. I'm wondering if the other one is still there. Let me just look at this map again, make sure I've got it right. Yeah, it was right here. Don't think it was 50. Yeah, it was 5. Well, maybe it was 50Z, 504Z. We're going to go check that out because we can. I might have been off by one. So, fine, nobody in the system. Let's go check out 504Z. Because it's very important, because that is a huge station. It is a Freeport if it's still there. It's a great spot to just kind of set yourself up at, as long as it's available. If you want to try and live out in the Great Wildlands for a little while. So we got somebody in the system here. I was wrong. It is, and that is the same station. It's called Costco. It makes me laugh. But yes. Okay, cool. So now there is somebody in the system. We're going to go by my rules. We're going to go back to AB, and then we're going to go to NTAC 6. So we're just going to warp back through here. It was well worth my time to check that out. Now, since I'm not seeing many cosmic anomalies, I will say this. I'm going to go through AB. If I don't see anything in N6 and 52V, I'm going to take a little detour this way, because I used to hang out in PUC, and I used to get a little bit lucky in there. So I remember there weren't any cosmic signatures here. Cool. So NTAC 6. I'm going to make this video and call it Tour of the Great Wildlands. NTAC 6 also used to have a Freeport station. I think it might have had 2 Freeport stations, if I remember correctly. I might be off by that. And we've got a couple people in system, but no station. So that's important. So that was taken down. I am 100% sure that it was here. So we've only got the one Freeport here now. We don't know. I don't know if there's any others. But we're going to go south. A little bit of time. There's my map here. We're going to go south to 52V6 and then PUC. Why am I not even looking? Oh wait, I do need to make a safe spot because there are people in the system. So let's take care of that. There we go. And then I was going to be going to 52 TAC V. I need to make sure. Now, there is a Fortizar in here. Wondering if they just turned those down, like those were the old ones that were here, and they just stopped them from being free ports. That's why you don't want to leave any of your important stuff in any of them, because if they do shut it down, I don't think you can get to it. Maybe you can asset safety it, but I'm not even sure you can do that. Okay, so we're trying to get to 52 V6. All right with that, but we have to be careful. Yeah, V6 here. Need to make sure there aren't any bubbles. So I'm going to pull up the map. Actually, I'm going to get moving so I can't be combat probe down. There we go. I've had some fun out here with guys who tried to combat probe me down because I don't cloak up because I'm an alpha character. When I used to be out here, I was an alpha character. But they would chase me all over the place and then realize I kind of knew what I was doing. Is that 52V there? Yeah. So, now is there anything near it? I don't see anything near it. That's so frustrating. So I'm going to warp 100 out. Hopefully I don't get drug into anything. Just being super duper careful. I'm kind of hoping my capacitor runs out because I really don't even need to get close to it. I just need to find out if there's anybody at the station. Scan it. Nothing. Scan. No probes. No nothing. Yeah, it's going to put me 100 out. So here's the funny part. This is a little bit of a trick. If nobody really seems to be paying attention to you, you can go in the opposite direction. There's three things you can do. You can either warp to another celestial and then warp back, same amount of time. You can warp to or burn toward the gate, or you can literally go in the opposite direction for half the distance and then jump the gate, which is what I'm about to do. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm in a cheap ship, and yeah. Establishing warp vector. Let's get out of here. Nothing to see here. Kind of interested. Maybe we'll run across a new Freeport or something. I don't know. At least Costco is still there, so that's nice. That's nice to know. Okay, let's check and see if there's any sites. These might have been cleared out by other people. It is a Saturday, which is no good. This is a tough time to actually do some exploration out here. We're going to go PUC. PUC. Jump, jump, jump. How much time have I been doing this? I'm talking a lot. 18 minutes. We still got 12 minutes to go. I've found I don't normally like to do a lot of exploration on the weekends because there is a spike normally of gameplay. I think the number of players is the same amount during the week, but they don't have as much time to play like I don't. So you have a lot more people who are able to lay traps out here on weekends, stuff like that. But it is a little bit nice out here because I know there's nobody in the system. So, let's see here. Wow, still nothing. Okay, we're fine. Let's map it out. We're going to go 5C, OO, V, and then A. 5OVA. We'll just do a loop. That almost messed with me because there was another 5, but I know I came through that one. Just looking for a site. Yeah, I used to hang out here in the biggest thing about the Great Wildlands. If you've watched my gameplay a lot, I hunt in belts a lot because they drop loot all the time. Out here in the Great Wildlands, and I'll show you here in a second. It's like a desert, basically, because there are no stargates, none whatsoever, which is frustrating at times. Wow, still nothing. This is a big nothing. So we're going to go one more. I'm not too worried about it. This is allowing me to do a loop. if I do end up where I was at, I've at least given people a grand tour. One submitted. Giving them a grand tour of the Great Wildlands. Some people don't understand what it's like. It is an area, if you need to get from point A to point B and you're just a little bit careful, you can get from north to south through this pretty quickly. The only thing with it is there are a lot of long treks through single gate systems, or like they only have one on one end, one on the other. So you really need to be a little more careful than you would think. But obviously, as you can see, there aren't many people out here because you're not going to see VX, oh, V and A. Okay, V and A, there we go. Obviously, you're seeing there aren't any asteroid belts. What does that do? It really limits the miners, the guys who are going to build your stuff for you. Now, I was actually able to live out here for quite some time by doing what I did in Stain. This is where I learned to do what I was doing in Stain, but actually at a tougher rate because I only had one place to build stuff. And I actually got to the point where I built a battle cruiser out here, if I remember correctly. By killing battleships, I killed everything on gates, if you can believe it, because it was so quiet. Okay, nothing. AZF. What was AZF we were going to? If you haven't figured out yet, I have a really bad short-term memory. So we're going to go AZF, CRX, and then probably head home to EO2. And to help with that, we're going to go EO2. Hopefully that will bring up the system. It does. It's 5 jumps away. Maybe I'll find a site. I don't know. This is kind of getting ridiculous. There have been no sites whatsoever. If I remember correctly, I think I read somewhere that, and I might be 100% wrong with this, but there was something with sites sites showing up in systems due to activity was one of the requisites that it figures out where new wormholes will pop up, or not wormholes, cosmic signatures. And this being such a quiet area, it may just be empty of those. Yep, again, nothing. We're just going to keep on jumping. I wish I had more for you. Maybe I'll get something here. As you can tell, if somebody wanted to work on making gate camps, they could do them out here. The question is how much action would they get? The other thing being, I remember when I lived out here, I would actually, on a random day, see massive fleets coming through here. Okay, so we got Revan Moore. I have a cosmic signature, but of course, this guy's here, and I'm not going to ruin. And this is the station area that I was at earlier, so let's go ahead and warp to the location. I think this wasn't too far. Oh, it is 31.37 AU away, so maybe it is near the gate. I'll find out. Of course, I'm not. I'm just off the distance I need to be able to scan it. Not going to be stupid right now. Warp to 100. We're going to make a safe spot near this one. just so that I know that I can warp to that save spot in the future. I can warp near the gate. Okay, so I'm going to try the trick that I was just doing a second ago. With somebody in system, we're going to go in the opposite direction for 50 kilometers with our micro warp drive going. This only works with your micro warp drive, and it is putting a little bit of risk out there. But if we keep our D-scan up and we're checking, should be fine. It just saves a little bit of time. I'm able to warp 100 kilometers off to make sure that there aren't any bubbles, but then I'm not spending the time to warp back to a spot and warp to this. So now we're just going to jump away. Like I said, I wish there was more going on with this one. I guess what I'm going to end up doing is next episode that I do tomorrow, I will travel out. I will head up toward Molden Heath, pick up the stuff that I have, and if there's anything along the way, I did 2 safe 1 spots? That's interesting. Okay, we're going to rename this edit location JPL. Now it's not 150k out, it's just near JPL. So in the future, if I come in here, I know that I can warp to that spot and then do a directional scan to see if anything's on the gate. So let's see where this other safe location is. We got 3 people. Wow, 3 whole people in system. Okay, we're gonna warp to that one. Any combat probes? Nope. I did run last episode over, if I remember correctly. So if this one ends a little bit early, well, I'm at 27 minutes. We got a Tempest battleship out here someplace. Need to make sure it's not at the gate. So first off, I'm going to rename this safe spot to edit location E02 for the future. Good. Now, any combat pro. Okay, see, that's gone. So he might have been coming through the gate and then figured out where he wants to go, or he could have cloaked up. So he could be jumping through this gate while his friend who just left system is on the other side. You never know. We're about to find out. We only have 1 jump left to go to get home to where our loot is. And then tomorrow what I'll do is I'll just pick up my stuff, start heading home, have 1 more signature look, and then see if I can get any more ISK on my way out. And then I'll do 1 episode after that where I'm selling everything. Unless, let's take 1 last shot here. Any cosmic signatures here? Nope. So pretty dead. So if this saves you the time of ever wondering what's in the Great Wildlands, fantastic. You never have to come out here. I will be very, very blunt. I lived out here for, it was a lot of time last fall when I first got back into the game. I challenged myself to live out here for a while, and it really taught me a lot. It got me going again. It was right during the pandemic. It is not an easy place to live. Not because you're going to get killed. I will say Stain and, if you want to live in Nullsec, NPC Nullsec, Stain and Syndicate are a lot tougher, scarier to live in, because there's so many people that might fly around. There's a lot more action there. This is a tougher place to live in, as in living on, living up in the Antarctica or in the Sahara, where you don't have the resources to do what you need to do. You really need to have an exploration ship. You need to have a way to get to and from these 2 stations that I'm currently in. But you also have to be careful getting to them, because they are, it's the one area of traffic that you might see out here. The other one is that Costco station that has been there for over a year now, or over 6 months at least. Wow, it's August. It's over a year now. I don't know how long it's been there, but it's been there for quite some time, most likely. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to make any is today. But you chalk your stuff up. I made a bunch of save spots, and if I want to come back out here, or somehow I ever form a corporation and want to get started out here, or this would be a great place to maybe drop a POS at, or even an Astra House. You may not even see anybody in some of the systems every once in a while. So other than that, that's all I got. I will talk to you guys soon, and I should be coming up with some live videos within the next 4 or 5 days, or daily videos again. I should be back from my vacation. So other than that, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however that you want, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.